prevention of financial statement fraud in transmile. Organization. 1. Values of honesty and integrity. It is important to build a strong tone at the top. It could be achieved through the independent selection of company directors. Therefore, the nomination committee plays an important role in ensuring that the company directors are appointed accordingly. Once the tone at the top has been established, the company will be able to culture the values throughout the org. 2. Specific internal control over financial statement. The control design should be considered in each accounting process, and identification of any potential financial statement fraud risk should be made. The company needs to identify the indicator or red flag that might exist in each accounting process. The control should be designed by the Chief Financial Officer and approved by the Audit Committee. 3. Assessment of internal control over financial statement. The company can hire an external auditor to assess the effectiveness of the internal control design for the financial statement process. Although the process might incur additional cost, the company has to measure this against the huge impact of financial statement fraud. 4. Participation of internal auditor in financial statement auditing. The company has to ensure the competency of the internal auditors in accounting and auditing of financial statements. 5. Greater role of Board Audit Committee. The committee acts as the independent body of the company to oversee the integrity of the financial statements and the internal control design. The proactive role, experience and the competency of the Audit Committee contribute to effective overseeing of the reported financial statement. Authorities. 1. Conduct examinations to identify compliance weaknesses, deficiencies and violations at the firms. Dedicated to the aggressive enforcement of the laws by conduct routine exams, sweep exams, focused on a particular compliance risk issue, and cause exams, often based on complaints or tips about wrongdoing at a particular firm, to prevent and detect fraud and other. 2. Government intervention. Increasing awareness and prevention of fraud. Increasing the structures and staff allocated responsibilities, fraud policy statement, fraud risk assessment, fraud control plan, procedures and guidelines, fraud awareness raising activities, training in ethics or code of conduct, training in privacy principles, employees involved in fraud.
Is there any unsolved issue or questions? No. Based on the transmile case, there is no issue because it has been solved and the perpetrator already been punished. But there is an issue or questions arise from transmile case.
Whether Bursa had made erroneous decision in proceeding to deliberate on breaches of listing requirements against applicants despite ongoing criminal proceedings against them. 1. The applicants present the applications for judicial review of Bursa's decision to impose penalties against them. 2. The ground of challenge by the applicants was grounded on the simultaneous criminal action by the SC and the proceedings by Bursa for breaches of the listing requirement.
3. The applicants contended that Bursa had erred in law and acted in excess of its jurisdiction in the AC's decision when it proceeded to deliberate on the breaches against them despite the ongoing criminal proceedings against them. 4. This was because the action by Bursa was said to pose a real risk of bias against the applicant.
5. The applicants further submitted that they had relied on the advice and management of financial advisors in respect of the financial affairs of the company. 6. The applicants also argued that after arriving at an erroneous decision, Bursa imposed penalties which were arbitrary, unjust and
It is possible the applicants was grounded on the simultaneous criminal action by the different statutory bodies at the same time.
It seemed like Gov did not take the previous fraud case as a lesson. Transmile is like mini Enron case. If there is so many fraud case in Malaysia, it will give bad impact to Malaysia where outside investor will think twice to invest in Malaysia or how to save the existing investor to the company.
Created using Powtoon.